People are always asking, what do I take for this or what do I take for that? Everybody wants a magic pill or herb. I mean, the answer isn't what do I take or what do I buy, it's what do I get rid of. Stop doing the things that are bad for you and clean out your life and your body, both of which, by the way, can heal themselves easily if you give them a chance. And one of the best ways to jumpstart this process is an enema. I am not kidding. This is one of the best ways to do it. If you think you're not clogged up on the inside because you go to the bathroom every day, which by the way should be 3 times a day, 30 minutes after each meal, doesn't mean you're not clogged. Let's say you're 30 years old. Have you ever seen the plumbing pipes of a 30-year-old house? Sure, water and sewage is running through them, but after 30 years, there is so much buildup on the inside of the pipes that it's difficult for anything to get through. And every day, more and more of this crap is getting stuck inside you. Your body gets nutrition through the intestinal walls, and if they're coated with all this plaque, you're not going to get any nutrition through. You can eat 10 pounds of the best, most nutritious food in the world, but if you've got that hard crud down there, you're lucky to get 1 ounce of nutrition into your system. That's why you're so tired and run down all the time. You know, now do you see why eating superfoods and herbs isn't going to do you any good unless you do some cleansing so you can actually absorb into your system? Colon herbs and fiber aren't going to do much but scrub a little bit. What you need is something that outright dissolves this hard, crusty stuff, and I'm telling you, it's tough. What is it? Mucoid plaque. When you eat crappy food, especially unnatural inflammatory foods like bread, pizza, anything made with wheat, grains, flour, starch, candy, milk, dairy, pancakes, cookies, pies, potato chips, cooked foods, and basically anything from the modern diet, your body creates mucus to protect itself from all this crap. This mucus hardens and makes this super hard, black, slick, shiny stuff that sticks to your intestines like nothing else. Just like the black, hard stuff that sticks to the bottom of your cooking pots and pans. Scrubbing it with fiber isn't going to do much. So how do you get rid of this stuff? You got it. Soak it in water. Water is the universal solvent. It can dissolve almost anything. Given enough time, it created the Grand Canyon. Okay, so how do you get water into your intestines? You can't really get it into your small intestine, but you can get it into the big one, your colon. Did you know the average person carries about 5 to 10 pounds of old, hard, crusty fecal matter in their body? That's right. Part of that pizza you ate 3 years ago is still in there, all hard, black, and shiny. Yuck. And did you know that the more clogged up you are, the more cranky you are as a person, the more run down and depressed you become, the harder it is to remember things, think straight, the harder it is to perform sexually, mentally, and physically. If you have a headache, sinus congestion, or any kind of illness, sickness, or disease, nothing will help get rid of it faster than this. Getting rid of the crud in your body is like cleansing out the fuel lines and fuel injectors in your car. Your horsepower increases 100 times like the day you were made. If you've never done this before, you will almost immediately feel the urge to go to the bathroom. Resist this urge. Plan on sitting there for about 20 minutes to half an hour because you will go to the bathroom about 5 to 7 times with a few minutes of wait in between each time. You will be amazed how full of shit you really are. If you have a headache or sinus congestion, you'll be amazed because it'll probably be gone after this because everything is connected. When you're done, you will feel so clean and so amazing you'll wonder why you didn't do this years ago. Your energy levels and your mood will be through the roof. If anyone is in a bitchy or crabby mood, hand them an enema bag and say, don't come out until you're done this. They'll be singing afterwards and thank you. I know this from first-hand experience. It always amazes people. And this is by far the safest, easiest way to heal almost anything. Not just things that are physically wrong with you, but also emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. If you want a total cleansing experience, do a 3-day water fast, enemas several times a day. And how often do you do this? If you're sick, at least several times a day. If you're recovering, several times a week. And if you're normal, several times a month. That's what I do. Look, everything's toxic. The air, the water, the food, everything. You gotta clean out regularly. Will it wash out the good probiotic gut flora? Some of it, but not really enough to worry about. I suggest people take a good liquid non-dairy probiotic afterwards, like these, coconut kefir or non-dairy acidophilus. Mix it with a bunch of water so it'll make it through your stomach acid alive. The full instructions are in the book Heal Yourself 101. There is no excuse. This can save a life. It's helped people with appendicitis attacks, food poisoning. It gets rid of gas and bloating immediately. It helps you get over colds, flu, bronchitis, and pretty much anything you can imagine. It's helped countless people with cancer clean out their corroded bodies. The list is endless. It's changed people's lives. Just do it.
Parasites and sexual deviance. Is there a connection? Okay, let's get into this. take my shoes off. Let's get a little grounding going. Just wanted to sort of think about these ideas for you and just give you an idea. Why is there so much sexual deviance in this world? What would make a person be a predator for a girl of non-consent? Why would anybody do that in their right mind? Why? Okay, could it be possible? Remember, these are theories, but I've been working on parasites for the last 40 years, and these are the most devious, cunning, mind-controlling things that you could ever imagine, okay? Could it be possible that certain species of parasites, okay, their job is just to infect the uninfected? Okay, so what does that mean? Remember, parasites, I look at them as demons, archons. No matter what religion you are, no matter what faith you are, no matter what skin color you are, you know about demons. And to know about demons, of course, is to hear about it maybe in the Bible, to hear about it or read about it. You know exactly what the devil looks like, right? You can draw a picture of it, or you at least can tell which one it is that you've been shown. And you can tell what an angel is too, because you've been shown, even though you haven't seen either of them. But the real demons, and watch our other videos, parasites and degeneration, is there a connection? Parasites and toxicity, is there a connection? Just so you can get a better understanding on the parasite tab. Could it be possible that once infected with these different types of parasites, not only do they want to infect others, but they also are a connection to, maybe you can call an antenna to another world that we can't see, but we know it's there, right? So think of these different parasites, or different, like I said, I like to call them demons. They have infected everybody to some form and degree. And if you think you don't have parasites, that's good. It just means that you believe in Santa Claus too. The Tooth Fairy, okay, Easter Bunny. You believe in a lot of stories. Remember, parasites are real. Like I said, I've been studying these things for 40 years. Could it be possible that these parasites control the way you eat, control the way you feel, control the way maybe even you think, critical thinking? What do parasites do if they live in the body? Not only poop in the body, but they manipulate you. Or actually read a book called Parasite Rex, just to go ahead and catch up a little bit on how little tiny creatures can go ahead and control other infected hosts, big or small. So could it be possible that sexual deviance, a lot of it has to do with parasitology, has to do with trying to find an infected host? Why would an adult prey upon a child? And you know that after they've done what they've done, they said, I was under the spell. I don't even know what I was doing. Just like eating a gallon of ice cream, right? I was under the spell. And when you're done, you're back to yourself and you feel sick. Is because why? You did something you didn't want to do, but something inside you and your body or mind made you do it. And you loved it while you were doing it. And then when you were done, you felt shame and guilt. Okay? And it's hard to talk about these things here because remember, the interdimensional world is a real world. We only see a tiny slice of the electrical magnetic spectrum, a tiny slice. Anyways, if we all understood, like before any politician or anybody of any authority would be able to be themselves, they must be dewormed, right? Dewormed. When you ever see a guy with a belly sticking out sideways this big, remember, I'm 63 years old. I'll show you again. Look, okay, 63, and I still have abs. Why? And I have a lot of testosterone, and I don't do stupid things with people I shouldn't. So you can't blame it on testosterone, because most of the people anyways don't have that much testosterone. So why do people do what they do, especially with sexual deviance? Man, could it be possible that even the sexual appetite that you have, I don't care if it's masturbation, watching porn, whatever it is a possession? And is it a possession that you benefit from? Maybe 24/7, or maybe most of the day. Maybe you have a lot of movies in your head about sexuality. Do you think that's normal, or do you think it's coming from your mind, or do you think it's coming from something else to give you those feelings? Remember, parasites not only feed off of food, blood, they poop in the body. So physiologically, they're not good, right? Forget about if they even, there's not a parasite that's good for you, just remember that. But when they colonize, okay, what do you think a person is when they gain body fat? Okay, that's an infestation of yeast, mold, fungus, candida, and it eats sugar. Remember, we've talked about this many a time. Eats sugar, processed foods, bunch of garbage food, bunch of things that it fuels itself with. And everything that's alive, remember, has an excrement waste product. Everything, no matter what it is. If it's alive, then it actually excretes something because it eats something. Think of the demons don't eat food, but they eat energy and motions, a lot of feelings. So why would a person that would be parasitically infected do the things that they know they shouldn't do? And I don't care if it's sexual deviance, like I said, I don't care what it is. Have you ever been wormed lately? Just think about that. So if you knew that these parasites, and you can now change the word parasites for demons, remember, could it be possible that cancer is a parasite? Could it be possible? That's all, just questions. So every politician, if they want to go ahead and take, remember, everybody needs to be dewormed so we can remove these parasites, which are, you can call them reptilian. They don't have the DNA of us, and so they are foreign, they are aliens, okay? But they're not outside of the body, they're right inside the body. And they need a host, a person like us, okay, an animal or something, to be able to grab a hold, okay, of life. And then once they're in the system, and once they've manipulated themselves in, remember, every time you get sick, most likely you got a parasitic infection. And parasites are causing a lot of disturbance in the body, and you wind up having a sickness that you call, that you thought you caught it from your buddy. Maybe you did parasitically. Very important to go ahead and keep up with anti-parasitic protocols. Just so you can find out more about yourself. It's because if you've got a lot of different parasites inside you, your sexuality, your emotions, your feelings, I mean, just your productivity is not you. So if you really haven't gone through a lot of protocols, and it's just a little at a time, it's one slice at a time, guys, there's lots to go ahead and clean up in your world. Lots. Parasites is just one section. Remember, detoxification. There's a lot of different ways to be able to detox your body, okay? Just of chemicals, pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, and fungicides. But the big problem is the parasites. Especially if we knew that certain species are very infective. Think of it this way, okay? You've got a male Phaseolopsis buski, which lives in the liver, okay? It's a parasite. And it's a male. And it's looking for a female to replicate with. So it finds a female because the pheromones that it puts out come out of yourself, and the other parasite that's in someone else, they will be sexually attracted to one another. Is it because they love each other so much, or because they're interested in so much, or could it be possible that the pheromones pull that other parasite, the female, to the male, and then they do what they do, right? Swap and spit, whatever it is, guys, doesn't matter, okay? And after the infection has occurred, there is no connection anymore. There's no relationship connection. It's like, wow, why did I even do that? It's because you were under the spell. And being under the spell, remember, means that you don't even know you're under the spell. Why is everybody so much, think of it this way, another way, I have to be very sensitive in words. Why is everybody overweight? Why is everybody chubby? What's the deal? What's the deal? It just means that whatever you're doing, you're not doing correctly, and or you're out of balance. Your body's plugged. Maybe you're full of chemicals. Maybe you're demineralized, okay? Or you don't have enough nutrition in your body. Maybe that's the case. That's happened to me. 15 years of being vegan, okay, vegetarian. Remember, it's a diet to get cleansed, but you have to watch out about pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fungicides. You have to watch out about oxalates. You have to watch out about a lot of different things that are called plant poisons. Because if not in time, you will falter. And you will pick up a lot of different parasites, no matter if you're vegetarian, vegan, schmegan, or if you eat just the standard American diet or you do carnivore. Remember, I'm walking in the grass right now. I could pick up hookworms right now, but I don't worry about that because every 3 months, just like the other day, I did an anti-parasitic protocol to wipe these guys down inside me, no matter what. Otherwise, I got to live in a bubble, right? Sexual deviance. I think there should be some good experiments on all the different people that do what they do. Like, remember, a lot of people are identifying with different types of genders. Why is that so? Remember, it's a mental construct. It's not biological. Not really. But when your testosterone's low, if you're a man, when you were a child, that means that when you developed, you didn't get what you were supposed to in the private parts there. It's because testosterone, remember, needs to be present in the system. So now you're just out of balance. And once the body's out of balance, it's very easy to wind up getting certain types of parasites because the body's weak, just weak. So I think a good experiment would be to be able to, anybody that's done anything that is not so. Look at all the pedophilia, all the rapists, all this stuff. Is it done on purpose? Just to go ahead and make news? Is it even real at all? Or is it because possibly that it's parasitically driven? These people, instead of castrating them, right, what would you do? You'd maybe go put them on several different courses of different types of anti-parasitic drugs that are proven and effective. And let's see what happens. Let's see if all of a sudden they gain back themselves to some degree and they don't have that 24/7 of sexuality throwing through their head. Remember, when you have orgasm, guys, just so you know, on an electrocephalograph, ECG, there's different layers of your mind when it reaches certain levels of vibration, right? 0 to 4 is delta, that's sleeping. 5 to 8 is theta, okay? 9 to 15 is alpha. 15 to 40 is beta, frequency of the mind. What happens when you have orgasm? Could you guess and see and think where orgasm, where it would be on an ECG? Where do you think that vibration is? Kawinky dinky, enough. Okay, 6.66 cycles. 666, wow. Same frequency as blue, right? What is the frequency of blue? Color blue. Same. Anyways, that's a whole other story. But anybody that has any type of urges of a lot of things that they don't want to do and they do it anyways, is, remember, you are addicted. No, you're under the spell. You're possessed. We're all enthusiazines. Enthusiazine, what does that even mean? Do you know? Enthusiazine. Okay, we're all possessed by many. Call it as you wish. Remember, there's a lot of story here. But parasites and sexual deviance, I mean, I've known many people and seen and read of many cases of people that were of a sexuality that they were previously, that they changed only because of a parasitic protocol. It didn't make sense anymore. Remember, there's a difference between sex, which most of the time is just parasitic, and the difference between, of course, sex versus just love. the exchange of energy on a level that both sides are in some form of excitation, some form of growth, not one taking from the other. I got mine, baby, get yours. It's up to you. It's not parasitic, it's energetic exchange. So I don't see that too much right now. I see sex being promoted parasitically, taking advantage of other people. Look at Tinder, all the different things. There used to be a social contract where if we wanted to meet somebody, you had to put some power and some purpose into it. Right? You had to go to a place where the level of people that you wanted to meet. And that's where you would meet the people that you were thinking, okay, that were maybe at that level of consciousness that you wanted to meet. You're going to go to a dance, okay? If it's got a bunch of alcohol and stuff like that, you're going to get those types of people. If you're going to go to maybe the observatory and go see the telescopes or join the canoe club, or maybe start going to the gym, those are the people you're going to meet. You go to a place that everybody's sick and mentally, well, those are all those types of people. Maybe you can help them, but that's not going to help you. Maybe it will. But working on yourself, guys, detoxifying yourself to find out who you are more, and who you are, remember, you're human. You're a good person. But if you're full of toxicity, if you're full of different parasites, you have never felt the real you, and it feels so good to be you. And when you look at yourself in the morning, like any time in the day, okay, look, I'm 63 years old and I'm just using myself as an experiment. And the protocols that I do are working for me. I go in my mineralized hot tub every night for you to be able to learn about mineralized hot baths and turn it into something healthy instead of using chlorine and bromine and all different types of pesticides, okay? Poisonous pesticides like chlorine. Dumb. And then you get inside, guys, and you're wondering if you're a man, if your testes are shrinking up to marbles, why your testosterone, your libido, why your muscle mass, why your feeling of wanting to do things, okay? Because you have energy, get up and go, is gone when you lose your testosterone. So if you feel lazy, just like a dog when you cut off its you-know-whats, what happens to it? It gets fat and it gets lazy and it sits around and doesn't do much. It used to chase and run around and have a lot of fun, but now it doesn't. And as you can see, most of the people that you see, okay, like a politician, like I said, if you see a guy with a big, huge gut like that, you know they're full of parasites, and they're making decisions based on what? If you're full of parasites, then you're going to make decisions maybe that are parasitic. How about that? And if your body is cleansed and clean, and that means most likely that your mind is cleansed and clean. It's just the way it is. And if you can't see that, guys, it's only because, remember, these parasites are mind controlling, and they control your feelings, they control your thoughts, even if you think not. Why are you hungry all the time? Why are you thinking of the things that you do, especially sexuality? It's not love. It's not. So if you went through various different protocols and you don't like who you are right now, maybe it's time for you to go ahead and step up to the plate with yourself. It takes time to learn things that I've learned to be able to help me. And of course, I've changed my life lots of times. Lots. But, okay, everything's a work in progress. Remember, everything's an experiment. But I could say, if you are not liking who you are, and that goes for looking yourself in the mirror, turning around, giving yourself a good physical examination, turn around and squeeze those butt cheeks and see if you have that feta cheese. And could it be possible that that's just a bunch of estrogen? Watch that video. Estrogen fed society. And then watch how I raise my testosterone naturally, using the sun's rays on full body. Okay, watch those videos. How to increase your testosterone. And there's many ways to do that. But if you're constantly, remember, under different assaults that are going to confuse your biology, then you're confused. Okay, all the Wi-Fi, all the wireless, all the microwave tech, do you think that's good for you? Try to minimize as much as you can. My phone's right now It's not on, it's on airplane mode, the Bluetooth shut off and the Wi-Fi shut off. And when I connect it in the house, it's going to go on a wire. I never use my phone. It's only because I know, well, anyways, that's another thing. It's a two-way microwave transmitter. We'll get into all that later on other videos. But I would say, and taking me about 6 months to put this video together on anti-parasitic medications. And these are the things that I've done. And this is the information that gets anybody to start, because you don't want to do anything that anybody else is doing. You have to always research it yourself and check it out. But remember, a lot of the information you're going to find sometimes has a theme to it that is, well, trickery. And so I'll go over some of that stuff in the show notes. And you want to read to all our videos, all the videos I do, read the descriptions. Put a lot of time in those descriptions, because if you really want to learn, it's not just watching the video, but it's watching reading the descriptions and then following some of the links so you could do your own further research. Is because if you really don't think you know, okay, but you really want to know okay, there's a different thing. And knowing things is only because you researched them. And maybe, like I said, I've been hoodwinked many times, let me tell you. Many times. And just know that there's a system here. And if the people that run the system are infected with these different types of demons, these archons, these parasites, and I don't care who you are, if you're infected yourself, you're not going to make the decisions based on if you were completely clean and cognizant of, well, free of parasite poop. Parasite poop, remember, super toxic. And going through detoxification, you have to do it very slow, a little bit at a time, because you accumulate it a little bit at a time. Watch a lot of the videos that we've done in regards with detoxification, and those are just different therapies that you can learn. And every therapy, remember, it's an experiment. It's all an experiment, guys. I'm not the same as you, but I know that our biology is similar, for sure. No matter what color you look like or what species you are from the outside, our insides are completely the same. In fact, men and women are exactly the same biologically. It's the hormones that change them into the biological entity that they are as they're going through their growth in embryo. That's why you'll notice that a lot of females, I'll know they have a boy, is because the old ways where if you start throwing up and you're nauseated is because that's testosterone, and you've got a son inside your baby, inside your belly. Yes, you do. And if you have a smooth going pregnancy, that means most likely you got a female. Anyways, I can't get too much into this deviance thing, is because it's not to be talked about, but you can go ahead and make decisions yourself and see, could it be possible that these people are possessed? They're possessed with a certain energy form that feeds off of certain substances. And remember, demons feed off of not physical things. The physical parasites, I would say, are antenna to the world that we cannot see, but we know it's there. Oh yes, it's there. Remember, a lot of people, okay, you think you go to the doctor and they say you're parasite free. If you've got body fat, you've got parasites. What do you think that is? Toxicity? Body fat? Those are parasites. They're alive. If it wasn't alive, it would rot inside your body. They have a biology, okay, that they need a certain terrain to be able to exist. And if you take away that terrain, that person loses body fat. It's real simple. It's because that microbe decolonizes. It decolonizes, and you got to break it down too. Remember a lot of the sono protocols that we show. But the bottom line is, if you are feeling uneasy about a lot of the things that you feel that, well, the direction that you're going in is not the right direction, okay, you may want to look at some of the videos that we do, just to give you some ideas, some concepts, some disciplines that you may want to try. You may want to try. And this information is only made for those that basically see their body. This body is a machine. This is a machine. And you can mess this machine up by poisoning it, or you can shine it up. Okay? You can polish it up. Have you ever cleaned your skin to open up your pores? I clean people's skin and they take showers, and guys, look at how filthy the rag is. This is pore pus. This is the stuff that is making you clogged. And if you're clogged, you definitely get fat. You get sick too, because you don't sweat. Anyways, sexual deviance and parasites, I would say, with my 40 years, I would say it's a high percentage of those types of people are infected with certain types of physical types of parasites that want to find other uninfected hosts, and that's very young people, or maybe, as you see, you don't see a lot of older people getting raped or a lot of problems. It's always the young. And why is that? And I bet you if you ask any of these people and investigate, they'll all tell you they are so shameful of what they've done, except for those that are completely possessed. And they're glad to tell you about their deviance. They're proud. But could it be possible that these parasites, okay, these demons are controlling? Okay, remember, the physical parasite is the antenna for the demonic or the spiritual world. And if you take away that physical parasite, remember the tapeworms, they can grow up to 50, 60 feet. They grow a foot a year. And you think you don't have them? Really? Oh, I don't eat meat. Yeah, well, you can get them anyway, because eggs are all over the place. The pork tapeworm kicks out 1 million eggs a day. Feces, okay? All over the place. Anyways, everybody gets infected. Why? It's because the eggs are everywhere. And so what do? Well, if I got weeds in my garden, in time the weeds will take over my garden and I won't have a garden. The things that I planted to eat, I won't even be able to see them after 2 months if I don't weed my garden. Because the weeds grow faster than the plants do. My bell peppers do, let's say, or my zucchini I'm growing. No, the grass grows fast. So that would mean that all of those weeds, which are parasites, are going to go ahead and smother the thing I'm trying to grow. And your body, remember, is just like what we're trying to grow in the garden. You need to de-weed it, de-worm it. Watch that video. Have you de-wormed yourself lately? They're just ideas, guys. You think you just deworm dogs, cats, cattle, sheep, okay, any animal for nothing? And if you talk to any veterinarian, you find out that it is a necessity to go on some form of anti-parasitic, anti-helminthic drug. A couple, 3 times a year. And there are different ones that have different abilities to work on different types of parasites. There are ones that just specifically work on the parasites in the gut. I've gone through that whole protocol, and I'll go ahead and share the protocol I did. And these are using compounds. Okay, these are anti-health drugs, compounds, well known for many years. And then there's other types of anti-parasitics that are more systemic, that's going to go ahead and actually clean the clock of things that live in my brain, my liver, my kidneys, my organs, and maybe even some of my muscles. There's microparasites so small that basically, I'm going to do a couple videos on this because I have a nice biomedics microscope. Everybody has these spirochetes in their mouth, and a lot of people are not really, that are a part of authorities, they're not showing anybody that they have these things, especially the dentists. There's a few that go ahead and have a microscope, but every doctor should have a microscope. And just be able to take a toothpick and be able to go in between the teeth. Don't brush your teeth, right, for about 8 hours. And let's just go in between the teeth and pull some tartar out. Put a little drop of isotonic solution like distilled water or Ringer solution, just a little bit of water, because you're pulling out a little material, right, that tartar. And let's see what's in that tartar. And you'll see these spirochetes swimming around, not only in the mouth, but if you do that in the blood, it's in the blood too. Don't you think that it would be good to be able to weed your garden? Your body is your church. It's your garden. It's the tree of your life. And if you don't fertilize it correctly, you don't prune it, you don't go ahead and actually harvest anything from it. So if you're having a crappy life, maybe it's good for you to be able to look into detoxification. And it doesn't cost hardly anything to do detoxification because most of the compounds are very cheap. And you have to learn how to do some intermittent fasting. That means you save money because you're not going to eat as much. going to drink super clean water and follow a lot of the protocols, and your body over time will start to become faster, quicker, and smarter instead of, well, stupider. I won't even say it, but you understand what I'm saying. But parasites and sexual deviance is real in my book. Like I said, read the book Parasite Rex. There's lots of different books that'll tell you about these mind-controlling parasites are real. And they're everywhere. And they're very powerful. And how do they do it? We don't know, but they do connect into the nervous system and control the thoughts, or maybe feelings or wants, by biological activity. Maybe if something's hungry inside, it tells you what kind of stimulation. I'm not sure how it does it with its chemicals. Remember, your attraction to someone else could be just that your parasite male is looking for a female, and that's the attraction, especially when you do the dirty deed on a one-night stand. That's not love. You didn't go ahead and court. You didn't go to the movies. You didn't hold hands. No, you jumped right into it. You Tindered it. Or Kinder, whatever the heck it's called. I've never been on the thing, okay? You didn't court. That's, in my book, you can say sexual deviance is because it's parasitic deviance. Remember, sexual is parasitic. As you'll see, a lot of the authoritarians, you see the system here, it's parasitic upon the system. Maybe it's because they're parasitically infected and they need to have a good woman. Several different courses of different types of anti-healthmic, okay, helminthic, okay, helminthic. That's the name of parasites. A lot of different types of worms. Look at the word, helminthic. Helminths. Kawinky dinky? Maybe so. So could it be possible that we can perform our own, you can call them exorcisms, to remove the demons that are inside of you that you don't even know? Do you have to go to church? Maybe. Okay, maybe just to get the strength to be able to see if you want to not battle with these parasites, but slowly move them out of you, little by little, piece by piece, layer by layer. Nothing good is easy in this world, and if you want to stay healthy, wealthy, happy, and wise, then it does take work every day, not twice a week, every day, especially to catch up. Remember, you've got to backpedal. And what does backpedaling mean? That means that you're out of shape, your body's chemically toxic. I mean, I do fast, if I can, 1 day a week for 36 hours. This will keep you lean. These are the simple protocols I do. Everybody I talk to in the gym there, no one's doing a detoxification diet. They're just eating food to think they can get bigger muscles. But you're not doing a detoxification diet. You don't understand estrogen. Estrogen is in your foods. There's chemicals, okay, in the packaging. They're called xenoestrogens. These are estrogen. And if you eat estrogen, guys, you get fat. You get boobies like a girl, too. And your testes, they don't get any bigger. That's for bloody sure. So all it is playing chessboard here, guys. You're navigating. And you can't change the world, okay? But these are recommendations. Anybody that had any type of criminality with anything should be anybody going to jail. I don't care what it's for. Everybody should go on anti-parasitics while you're there. Why? It's because maybe the parasites inside are making you do what you do. Maybe you don't want to work and you'd rather take from someone else, is only because you're ashamed that you did it. And don't say you're not. You're ashamed of anything that you did that you didn't like. It's only that maybe when you're possessed, you just think of it as survival. But remember, when you clean up the evil in the body, the parasites, the archons, then you want to do good. It's just what it is. And you can say that your Christ self comes out when you remove the demons, when you remove the archons, when you remove these physical entities which have an antenna to connect into these other entities that are mind-controlling, very strong mind-controlling parasites in the sexual deviance department. If you disconnect the physical parasite, then that antenna is not connected anymore. Think of those little snakes, the tapeworms. Remember, those are truly serpents. Look at the teeth on those things. And watch our other videos so you can see a lot of the pictures I put in there and a lot of the pictures that I do some workshops on Earther Academy on our private channel. Watch those just to get an idea of what you're up against. These are demons, archons, the adversary, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. And they're real is because not only, well, have they been studied for many, many hundreds of years. This isn't something new. It's just that for some reason, the ones that are supposed to take care of you, called the doctors and different authorities, they're not talking to anybody about these creatures. And or they think that for some reason, since you've opened up the world for traveling and boats everywhere and anybody can go anywhere they want, migrants here, this and that. Remember, everybody's swapping their parasites. Not having good sanitation. If you've got the pig tapeworm inside you, the beef tapeworm, fish tapeworm, or any one of these, the giant schistosoma, these things put out millions of eggs together a day. So when you poop on the ground and it dries up and flies in the air and you sweep the ground there, guys, all it takes is one egg for you to get infected. What makes you think that you're so lucky that you can't get infected? Forget about touching someone and swapping spirochetes, French kissing with someone. Of course you're doing that. Of course, watch the relationships that you have. Once you clean out your body, I mean, if you were dating, if I was dating, I'd have to go ahead and do a complete protocol detox on my girlfriend just because I want to show her. And plus, you know, I de-infect myself every 3 months, so I'm not living in a bubble. But the last thing I want to do is keep getting reinfected or be around someone that is infected, is because they're not themselves. They're not. Emotionally, they're not themselves. Physically, they're not themselves. Remember, parasites change a lot of things, a lot, without you knowing it. So the moral of the story, again, is that you can't change the world, okay? And if the system really wanted to help the system out, then it would be, well, forget about mandatory to take you know what, but it would be mandatory for everybody, every school child, to get wormed. So I used to, you know, for about 25 years, used to board horses at my house at ranchodelespalmas.com. You can check that out. We do weddings and stuff there. I sold that to my brother. He took it over. But in order for you to have your horse in our farm, and we had about 80 horses there. My brother had about 80 horses. We had about 150, 60 horses total under training. You know, these are training horses. They're English, not Western. So they're jumping, you know, they're doing all different types of daily rides, pretty much 3 times a week, you know, under instruction. But in order for you to keep your horse, you couldn't even bring your horse in unless we had it dewormed. I don't want you bringing your parasitic crap inside our place and reinfecting all of our expensive animals. A lot of the animals were $50,000 to $200,000 horses. These aren't nags. And every 3 to 4 months, the vet would come over, charge like about 15 bucks. It was cheap, maybe 20, whatever it was, and they'd go through and they'd deworm every horse and dog or any animal that's on the property. Should have did it with the people too, though, right? Everybody thinks for some reason. These parasites, remember, your body, like I said, whatever color skin you have, whatever you believe in, it doesn't matter. When you open up the body, they're all the same. And parasites can go in similar biology. Yes, they can. And if you think they can't, it's only because, remember, you're mind controlled. Your parasites don't want you to know that you have parasites. And so you'll look at it and go, oh, I don't want to see it. Yeah, it's because something inside you says don't look at it. It's because they control your little brain. You should be curious about a lot of things in this world, and one of the things is to be able to remove the evil. Watch the movie Little Nicky. That's a good one. Okay? Little Nicky. Okay? It's about removing the evil. It's got a lot of good parables in it. And love does dissolve evil. Yes, it does. And your love for yourself, with some experimentation that thousands and thousands of other people, just say millions of other biological species, have already done. And this is something, like I said, in the Western world, they don't talk about parasites. You go to medical school, you don't even learn one class about parasites and or how to do anything. Okay, so you go to the hospital, no one checks anything in these areas. No one checks the amount of glyphosate in your blood. No one checks the amount of chemicals, toxic, such and such, or asks you if you've got a Wi-Fi router under your bed or next to your place within 50 feet. That's on 24/7, and you wonder why you're so tired all the time and you can't think and you're sedated. Anyways, that's an AI parasite. That's an electronic parasite. You got to watch all these pieces. Remember, because the parasitic world here wants to take away things from your world. That's what parasites do. They don't add one thing to you. They don't benefit you one bit. So anybody who says that they're a benefit, that's bullshit. Okay, remember, parasites are extractors. They're colonizers. They're demons. They don't do one good bloody thing for you. They poop inside you, very toxic poop, and cause the body to biologically dysfunctionize. Okay? Mentally depressed. A lot of different pieces that go along with this. But you're getting it, right? Okay, remember, parasites are the cause of a lot of different biological dysfunction, mental dysfunction, emotional dysfunction. So it would be sort of smart to be able to learn, put some time in. Shut off stupid social media. That's another, remember, that's an AI parasite. That thing's got you by that you-know-whats. Okay, constantly carrying your phone around. You're not having children for one reason, is because you hold your phone in your hand. And your phone goes everywhere with you because that's your new AI child. That's your called transmutation or transhumanism, is because you're part cyborg now, because you can't live without your smart device. No, you can't. You lose that phone, it's like losing your child in Kmart. Okay? That child means everything to you. No, your phone means everything to you. Okay? It's a pretty weird possession. And the children, remember, they're all possessed with many different things. In many ideologies, just giving your child, if they do have a phone, they should only have a 2G phone. That's it. 2G. That's texting and phone. That's all you get. You don't get internet. You don't need maps. You don't need any connections whatsoever. Wi-Fi. You don't need any of that crap. Internet, or excuse me, 2G is phone and text. And if you've got your child with a smartphone, remember, the devil's in the phone. Just remember that. Satan's tech, is you can call, or what a lot of people call, is smart tech, because it is really smart. Maybe not so smart for you, but it's really smart for the smarts that made it. Okay, take care of yourselves, guys. Don't stay strong, because most likely you're not. Get strong. Exercise in the gym 3 times a week. Exercise every day a little bit. I don't care if it's doing 20 push-ups, a couple hundred crunches, maybe 50 crunches, whatever it is. Step it up. Start doing a little bit at a time, because I can see people, man, you're lazy. Just walking around, you're just dragging. Most people, not all. But when I go to the gym there, at least I see people working out, but they have no idea about detoxification. They have no idea about parasitology, but at least they're taking care of some physicality by exercising. Exercising will at least balance your brain chemicals. Remember, I did a lot of things when I was in my 20s and 30s, and I was dumb as a stump. I had no idealization about anything. I just knew basically how to survive in the matrix, and I wanted to progress in the matrix. I had a great time doing it. But remember, waking up is very hard to do. And if you want to wake up a little bit just for yourself, then you'd want to remove the parasites inside your body and go through. Remember, there's parasites on the skin. Do our skin cleaning protocols. There's parasites, fat, yeast, mold, fungus, candida. What do you think that stuff is? Body fat. Remember, if you got a gut, you got some work to do. If you're obese, guys, learn fasting protocols. Eat 1 meal a day. Eat a meal every 2 days, whatever it is, even if it's bloody McDonald's. All it is a lot of pieces, okay, that need to be mind controlled. You need to control your body instead of your body controlling your mind. Eat this, do this, watch porn, okay? Do the wild thing with yourself 5 times a day. Why are you doing that? Could it be possible that something's feeding off of the loosh that you produce? Something's feeding off of the predator, okay, feelings that you give people that feel that they're prey because you're taking advantage of them. Remember, these are parasites on how these demons feed. They feed in bandwidths, okay? Remember, energy and motion, the emotions. If you're raping someone or doing something that you shouldn't, especially even afterwards, all the guilt and the shame for years, sometimes for a whole lifetime, all of those energies are producing certain feelings. And if those feelings are within that certain bandwidth, those demons feed all the time. The only thing you can do is disconnect the demons. Disconnecting the physical parasites, in my theory, disconnects the ethereal parasites.